Okay. Um. All right. I'm gonna make multiple videos today. When things are being done to me, I will testify about all of it, because target individual, these people live a delusional reality, a distorted reality that is just acted accordingly, um, and it's so pathetic. Fortunately for me, I have this camera, this body camera that I wear. People see that I wear it. They know that when they're gonna do these acting things, I have something to always kind of get a glimpse of reality. It's because it's not gonna change what's gonna happen to me. It's just for those perps living this fantasy. I'm not gonna let them escape. This the way the psyop has been disturbing, but throughout today I was able to kind of put things in perspective for them as they try to escape. You know, the people responsible for me being in this program are the most conservative individuals you can imagine, and you see them trying to create a psyop. Oh my god, a psyop that is completely the contrary of reality, and they do everything possible. As there was a group of this fucking, sorry, this little, just white, not even white, but like they have that like kind of like progressive woke, like one of it was Hispanic, but with that kind of like I don't know what was the word for it, like that fraudulency that you can see for some people who live a deluded reality of this progressiveness of wokeness that is falsified. That's not the real deal. It's not. They are just like playing a role. That is just disturbing. They're like, oh, it's gonna be our evil, because their evil apparently is different from the evil that is from these other people. They create, and you look at this bottom feeders, like you can't even speak about a pedophile. That is their evil. You work for this evil that does things to kids too. They are trash. And you look at this nothingness, it's like, you are nasty bottom feeders. You think I'm gonna let you live your fantasy? You have nothing. It's not an evil. You're just a bottom feeder that these government entities use to do this horrible to even babies, and you're involved in that. You know how I know that? For the simple fact, even the entities, those entities running the show are stopping you from saying a name of a pedophile. Because reality is that you are creating a psyop. I'm a subject like many. You would be torturing a woman and a child with your evil. Because your evil is not your evil. You are working for entities that do evil things to people for the purpose of developing a technology. Stop trying to play this psyop. You guys are ran by pedophiles, and this trash use technology, military-grade technology, to molest children, and want to create this psyop of, look at us, look at how, like, oh, it's so disturbing. For me, all day today, I was like bringing that to reality. I was talking to, they'll make me try to think of somebody in this racial way. I'm looking at it, like I talked to him, I was like, you're not gonna make me subscribe to it. Look at this bottom feeder. You think I think these people are like running this program? You think they even have anything to do with me being this program? These people are just the bottom feeder. I was put in this program by very conservative people. These people who do evil things to even children are doing these things to me. You think this psyop is gonna make me subscribe? Let me show you how much of a psyop. Say Roy Moore. It's the reality. You guys' evils are disturbing and renowned around the world. They try to distance themselves from the same program they're in, doing these things to women and children. But they think, because look at us, look at this, it's like trash. I can see you do that to a baby or a woman. Trash. And like, you're gonna be bummed. You know why? It's because I'm in this program. But you know why I'm in this program? You have nothing to do with that. Yes, it's the same reason why if you go to Texas, you can't get an abortion. You just wanted to come up and cover that up. They are trash. The low-life bottom feeders the government just use, and the disturbingness of that. But it doesn't end there. For example, target individual. It was just disturbing. I have cameras for a reason. I come in this in this building, right? The humiliations. I mean, this man, I swear, I like, what kind of self-respect individual can do that? I'll make the videos and I'll go through all of it this weekend. This man, excuse me, I go into this elevator. I think I'm by myself. Throughout me commuting from work, I look up. I don't look at this trash. I can just see blur. Because I want to make it as obvious as possible that the way they make me perceive these children is manipulated. So if you make me feel or see, there's no way that naturally I will feel anything. How can I even? I can't even see exactly what I'm looking at because I'm looking up. They want me to look at them. I was like, I'm not even going to be able to recognize who I'm looking at. So if you make me have reactions, it means that you are manipulating me. Because there's no way I can ever be feeling anything if I don't see you. These people are trash. And they like try to make me subscribe to these stimulations. I make it super obvious that my brain is being manipulated by this technology. I go into an elevator. I think I'm by myself, you know. At the last minute, somebody opened the door. I see somebody who looks like a mother and somebody younger. That younger person, I'm not sure, but I think she's a teenager, but I can't see anything. I see the blur. Just coming by. In my brain, they try to have this battle. I don't know what she is. Like, she's 16 years old. Like, and they're like, oh, you see, you didn't know that. Trash. I know she was a young person. I'm sure she was, a kid or teenager of some sort. But they try to create a battle in my brain initially. And it's like, oh, you see, you didn't recognize it. And the reality is, I was looking up. So when she come, I don't see nothing but the blur of what's coming next to me. I was like, you see, bastard. But I have a camera. So the camera was going to show the reality. I'm like, I'm not going to look at this thing in real time. When I have the camera, I show what they try to mess with me. And as they try to create this battle, because in my brain, because in my brain what they're trying to do is like, I'm not sure who I saw, because reality is, I'm looking up, I can't see exactly who's coming down. I can see a blur, right? And they're like, in my brain, they try to have a battle. It's like, I didn't see, because if I had to guess, of course I would guess that's probably a teenager, like some teenage kid and her mother. But because I didn't really actually see what it is, it will be a guess. It will not be something I'll be like 100% sure. But that'll be the guess I'll go for it. It's like a teenager or some age, some baby, some like teenager, 15, 16-year-old, because it looked like it was something body short. They try to make me look at her in a sexual way. Of course, anything blurry, they're going to try to create some womanly shape. But it's just, I recognize for what it is. But I have my camera because the camera shows the reality. When they try to, my mind create some sexual, look at you actually look like. But they think they can intimidate you and gaslight you into accepting something that you know is falsified. They use these intimidations and gaslighting methods to try to get you to subscribe to it. So as they try in my brain to get this back and forth, right? To try to have these battles in regard of like, in my mind, they try to make me think, I'm not sure who she is, because the reality is true. Like I will not be sure because I'm looking up, somebody's coming here. So I can estimate a guess that she's a kid or teenage kid of some sort, but I don't know. I might be wrong because I'm not seeing her. I just see a blur. And then somebody comes up, now she's 16. And the mother's like, hello. Try to make a noise campaign. It's like, you see what got you? And there's this guy who's already a bottom feeder that I've seen before, trash, who was true, like he thinks that his gaslighting is going to make me subscribe to it. This trash, I don't care if you cut my dick or do whatever, sorry for the language, but that's the thing. I will never let you live your fantasy. They live off these manipulations. It's like this trash, it's funny, they call me garbage, to disorient me, when in reality, this is what I just said, is what these people do. They are trash bottom feeders. Patheticness that will go off nothing, that not even go off, they try to manipulate you into accepting something they know is being manipulated. So they're nasty. And my brain now was like, but when she left this, you saw her being short, I was like, okay. It's trying to create a logic of insanity. That was so disturbing in the first place. I'm like, wow, they don't give a F anymore. They're gonna try to act accordingly. This doofus of this retard, this grown man. I'm like, you always do this. This one man who always does the stupidest things. He has no shame. It's like, what do you think? This is watch it, hello. I know that you try to make me accept these manipulations. I make it obvious that everything that you do to me is obviously manipulated. Can you imagine? I can't even recognize who this person. If I see her today, they came in the elevator. I could not tell you what she looks like in the face. I know she's Hispanic. I know she has black hair, and that's it. They try to make me perceive this and create some perception of sexuality as always. When there's a blur, they try to create. In reality, if you see her, she's probably like a regular kid, like teenage kid. But in my mind, especially when I don't see well, when I purposely look up, so the rest is like a blur that they can perceive me to look in different ways. It's like, this is what you really, there's no possible way that I could be able to perceive that the way I was looking up. It's so nasty. And then when I see them leave, the person even looks smaller. These people are trash. It was probably a mother with her child. And the child is probably even younger than like 16, because they say 16, he's probably even younger than that, probably like 15 years old, even younger. These people are trash. But that's not where things end. At the office, I'll have to do a part 2. Because that place, Jesus, these people are so disturbing. The way they have been rewiring my brain. Forget about this place here. The office becomes a place of disturbing manipulations. And I'll make a part 2. And I'll talk about the office. I had to write notes about it. I had to write down what the things they do. It was so disturbing. The last part, as a target individuals, they try to break me down. I have the V2K, and V2K is what, they're using V2K. The V2K is used to disturb me, to disorient me, to manipulate me, to disturb me, like to disgust me. I just talk about some person that I couldn't even look at. I wasn't even looking at. I was like, I could see just like a blur of a human form of a blur, and they go trying to make me see that's proof you didn't recognize. Like, after creating some dialogues in my brain. And it's like, he's 16. It's like, well, she's probably younger than that too. That's like probably way younger than that. Because when she went back down, like when they left, I could see her being like even a shorter person. Nastiness. At the office was something else. The office was like continuously making me getting thoughts of disgustingness. Oh my God. They would try to make me think, it's funny, they like to talk about, oh, you molested her. They talk about me as a child, try to exaggerate what I did as a child. I say a grown man. He's trying to be super intellectual. Well, he is a smart man, I'm sure, and a professional man. But I was looking at him, it's like, I know you actually know that you guys in this program, running this show, the reason why I'm being tortured, right? This program that is allowing you to be doing these magical things to me is actually doing magical things to children, meaning they torture children sexually. And this is reality. They actually molest children. You're a part of a program that molests children using technology that is extremely sophisticated, and you know this. And you know that mothers and their children are being tortured. And I see mothers that were showing their children on camera via Zoom. And when I see them in person, you guys are the foulest. The people with children involved in this, knowing that they torture children, you guys are nasty. You've been using your own children to pretend that you're doing it for their sake, for them, when in reality, they're doing it for their pockets, for whatever incentives. They're not protecting their children. There is an incentives. I don't know if it's just financial, but there's some kind of incentives. Because no logical and rational person would be like, oh, let me get in a program where they are rewiring brain. No, it was you when you were a kid. What? Imagine I look at them, it's like some of them are not too much older than me. It's like, hey, no, it's you when you were in middle school. He's a father with children. It's like, no, we mapped it to you when you were a kid. Look, grown ass, fucking grown men having to dumb themselves down to that level because they know that this is, of course, I know it's more than just that. There's incentives. And they find a way to cope to acquire these incentives. And they're in a program that know themselves that the children, the babies that you have, your toddler child and your baby, that those people are testifying right now about the torture about those babies being abused and tortured. And you trash us think I'm gonna look at you so now you just locked in the stupidity of a child in 8th grade when you're in a program that is torturing children sexually. Do you think I'm looking at this woke bullshit thing? It's like, oh no, it's our money, it's our evil. What the fuck? It is just so sad. Honestly, the people I live around, they're bottom feeders too. But at least there's nothing worse to see some weak, some fraudulent, like, people who still try to maintain, like, logical sense in the manipulation to make me experience. They are disgusting human beings. But, it doesn't take any, like, you don't have to be special, target individual. I understand why we feel special. Because when you see the people who involve themselves, it seems like it's easy to go into that ways of going, like, group thinking plus whatever this technology can do can make you easily join this thing and participate and become one of these retards. To try to make you a man who's mentally retarded. Or a woman who's mentally retarded because of the way they've been just rewiring logic. For example, in this elevator, for me, it's like, you think because what torture you think is gonna make me subscribe to this? You play with my genitals. I know you can stimulate me. It's the sexual arousal that you can manipulate me to experience. I have you on camera. Trust me. That's why I wear my camera, my body camera. Is to make sure that these people, you see, this is reality. You want to see yourself? You want to see how everything looked when I was in the elevator first by myself, and out of nowhere, pow, they open the door. Guess what? Of course, a mother with somebody who looked like maybe their children. I don't even know. Like, I'm looking up. That's why I'm like, yeah, it's like a mother and her daughter. That's why I'm thinking. I'm not sure. You know why? Because I don't want to look. I look over there. That's just me, like, guessing. Could I be wrong? Yes, but based on me looking there and see two people, one tall and one shorter, it's like probably a mother and daughter. And then they try to create a battle. It's like, what? Just like, and then in my dialogues, right? I remember, I forget that these people are trying to just kind of create a false narrative. So they create a dialogue where it's not falsified in the sense that it's true. Do I know who this person is? No, I was looking up. I could just see a blur coming up in there. So technically, it's true that I don't know exactly. But if I had to guess, a mother and a child, based on just the size of this blur and the shorter size of this blur. But this blur, they try to make me feel something about this little shorter blur. And that's because probably she's a child. It's just like that now. It's not, logic is just like, we're going to take logic, boom, it's our world. No, it's not. That's even your logic, even that is falsified. They live off nothingness. These people torture, rape, fry, manipulate even children. And then use these retardations. And then for me, I'm like, I listen to myself. Because I feel like it feels spiritual, I'm going to have another videos about The Office where these people is the opposite. They all try to be like a group of like, so sad to hear them try to make me accept this. And I know like how bottom feeders they are in this program, in the sense that I know who's in charge, and it's humiliating for them. And in my 3 years there, bad things has happened to them. I don't think the last 3 years before that was bad like that. But they saw a lot of changes. People left. People died. People, like, it's just like, really? In this, all of that when I'm there? No. I think that's just a warning for some sort, but target individual, do not subscribe to these things. They love to, they project reality. Oh, you're nothing. Oh my gosh. Imagine me being a something, doing what they do. Is that what a something does? Okay, I guess I am a nothing. Target individuals, be lucky you're nothing, because you could have been something like them. Stay strong and no justice will be done for the foulness they do to people. These bottom feeders, you see them just little nobodies. It's like, oh, and they get on the phone and it makes them, they really try to make themselves something. Like, truly think like, oh yeah, it's our money. I look at her, it's like, you are so bottom feeder, it's just so, it's beyond. It's like, oh, we're gonna use our money. I'm looking at her, it's like, oh God. To all my target individuals, stay strong.